In the last video, we discussed how to connect your home studio. Let's continue and set up Live 12 to recognize your audio input and output devices. So I've just got a default set open, and we can get to the audio settings in Live through the Live menu if you're on a Mac or the Options menu if you're on a PC. Now, it used to be called Preferences. They've changed it to Settings in Ableton Live 12. Notice while we're here that you can also do this by key command, which on a Mac would be Command, comma, or on a Windows machine, it would be Control, comma. So once you've got settings open, you'll want to click the Audio tab here on the left pane. And at the top, you'll notice that we can choose our driver type. On a Mac, you should choose Core Audio, and on a PC, you'll want to go with ASIO, or ASIO driver. Now, in some cases, you may want to install a third-party driver. Good examples of this would be for interfaces like Apogee or Universal Audio, because that third-party driver includes an applet that sits in front of Ableton and it gives extra functionality. So once you've set your driver, you can drop down and you can choose your audio input and output devices. Now in Ableton, you can use two different devices for this, but it's recommended that you use the same one if possible. So for my audio input device, I've clicked this menu and I've chosen my interface, which is a Prism Lyra 2, but you'll find yours here, or you can choose the built-in microphone, for example, if you're on your laptop. Below that, I can choose my output device, which in this case is the same thing, or you can use your computer speakers, or sometimes you'll have speakers in your monitor or other similar device. So anyway, I'm going to choose the same thing, my Lyra 2. Now below that, we can actually configure the inputs and outputs. One of the main reasons here is that Ableton gives us several ways to cut down on CPU usage, and one of those is to deactivate inputs and outputs that we don't commonly use. So my device has stereo inputs for analog and digital, and that's why it's giving me these 1, 2, 3, 4 options. And for this example, I'll disable the third and fourth inputs on my interface. We'll see this when we go to address an audio track. So I'll undo that and I'll click OK. Now, while you're here, if you want, you can just double check to make sure that you're hearing something through your speakers or your headphones. And you can do that by simply clicking this test tone option here. So you notice that we could hear that, which gives us an indication that our setup with our driver type and our audio input and output devices are correctly set up. Now, if I want to close this window, I can click the red button up here in the upper left-hand corner. But when you have any dialog boxes like this open on Ableton Live, you can also close them by hitting your escape key. So just to demonstrate the change that I made, I'm going to go to the input selector on an audio track, and you'll notice that I don't have mono inputs for 3 and 4. I disabled those. So it says 1 and 2 only. Now if I want, I can quickly get back into the settings area by just clicking this configure button, and it takes me directly to the audio tab, and I can click the input config, re-enable the third and fourth mono inputs, and I'll click OK, and then hit my escape key. And now when I check my available audio inputs, I can see that I've got 2 pairs of stereo inputs and I've got 4 mono input options. So now that we've selected and tested our audio devices, we're ready to start working with audio. Check out the next video where we'll discuss how to set up your MIDI controllers.